Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very exciting Italian niche brand to discover, and it is Xerjoff, one of the most hyped niche brands ever. I did test some fragrances from Xerjoff in my my famous Testing Hyped Up Niche Fragrances series. You will find it in the description down below, where I test very hyped niche fragrances. But I did not test enough, especially given the amount of fragrances that Xerjoff offers, to have an idea of the whole brand in general. So today I am going to talk very briefly about the fragrances that I've already tested, and then go through others that I didn't test yet, and I cannot wait to test because some are very hyped and some have notes that I think I will definitely love. So if you want to know more about Xerjoff, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you are new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Lora, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing. And also hit that notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. This year I decided to test every month a new Italian niche brand, new to me, not to the market. So if you love Italian niche fragrances, then definitely check the description down below for all the previous episodes, and also don't forget to hit that notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. Let's begin with the most hyped one. Especially 3-4 years ago, that fragrance was all over YouTube, and that is Erba Pura. Now, I cannot find the sample of Erba Pura for the life of me, but trust me, the smell is imprinted here, because while testing this fragrance, I was writing my notes on a notebook, and still now, like almost 2 years, I can smell the fragrance. It's a beast, like one of the most beast mode fragrances I've ever tested. It has a lot of notes. It's mostly a very synthetic fruity fragrance. So as you can see, I'm not a fan of this fragrance at all. I cannot get the hype behind it, and also cannot imagine why would I pay so much money for such a fragrance, if I exclude, of course, the performance, because it's definitely one of the best I've ever tested when it comes to that. But the scent itself I do not like, I do not recommend, and I don't get the hype on it. Now let's get to the second, I would say, when it comes to the hype, and it is a Chento. There's also a Chento Overdose and Chento Gold. I did not test these. I have the regular Chento. I do not like this fragrance at all, and to me it's quite masculine. To me it smells like lavender mixed with some fruits. It does on my skin become more fruity the more I wear it, but overall I do not like the scent at all. Again, it's in the same vibe like Erba Pura, too synthetic to my liking. So this fragrance, again, I do not like. But when it comes to recommending this fragrance, it's actually one that I would not recommend 100%, but I get kind of how this can attract some people. Let's put it like that. But for me, this is not worth the price tag, and the smell is just no for me. Let's get to the next one that I know a lot of people would be shocked because I don't like it at all, and it is Nexus. Now, this fragrance on paper behaves totally different on my skin, and it's kind of a fragrance that every time I test I have a different experience with. So people love this fragrance because it's kind of a sweet tobacco one. Now, sometimes I get that, but other times I just get a fresh tobacco, a weird tobacco in a way. I don't know, I don't get the hype behind this fragrance. From all the tobacco fragrances that I've smelled, this is definitely not my favorite at all. Yeah, I just don't like it. I find it very overhyped. It's not a bad fragrance. Actually, it's kind of a good tobacco fragrance, but it doesn't deserve the hype that I find people give to this fragrance. I don't know, this is just my personal opinion. This one was a disappointment for me because I had great expectations and I was very let down by this fragrance. Another one that I absolutely hate, And this one is not hyped, but I find that people who really are into niche perfumes love this one, and I just can't get it. It's an oud fragrance and one of the most nasty oud fragrances I've ever smelled. This is Alexandria too. Oh my god. I just don't get it. I can't. It's more rosewood to my nose than oud. Very woody, but still has this, how can I explain it, freshness that I found also in Nexus. But it's a freshness that I don't like. There's something about it that I just can't stomach. Is it in this one or in Nexus? But Nexus is a fragrance that I can tolerate. This one, I was struggling while testing it, and I couldn't wait to scrub it off my skin because it was just nasty. Of course, performance was a beast. So definitely this is not a blind buy safe at all. You have to test this fragrance. It may not be for you. And I would say it's more rosewood, as I said, more than oud. Now, let's get to another fragrance that I've tested, I think, in my last episode. This is from the Casa Murati line. Now, if you don't know, Xerjoff has different lines. One is Casa Murati, which is the most affordable, let's say, from his collection. This one is so unique and so beautiful. This is Dolce Amalfi. A spicy citrus fragrance. It's stunning. There is a lot of cloves, so you have to love cloves because this is the predominant note. It has this beautiful citrusy opening that does remain till the dry down, which I really appreciate. It has this beautiful ambery base that has a little bit of a smoky touch, but not much. It's just this hint of smokiness that gives it a very mysterious, mystical vibe in a way. I love this fragrance. It would have been in my collection if it wasn't for the fact that the scent profile is not something that I would wear enough to justify buying a full bottle. So for me, a decant is more than enough for this fragrance. But I would highly recommend it if you love spicy, citrusy fragrances. You will love this one. It's so beautiful and extremely, extremely unique and underrated gem from this line from Xerjoff. Let's get to a fragrance that is not my vibe at all, but oh my god, this fragrance blew my mind. You cannot imagine. This is Italica, the best gourmand fragrance I've ever smelled. It's the gourmandish of the gourmand, if that makes any sense. It smells edible. There is nothing perfumey about it. It really smells like toffee and almond and vanilla. A very delicious, strong fragrance. Oh, it's so beautiful. A little bit too sweet for my likings, but I actually really love to smell this fragrance, like spraying it on paper and smelling it, because the scent is absolutely gorgeous. If you are a gourmand lover, this must be in your collection because it's the best in my opinion. Next we have Lira. Oh my god. Lira is a lemon meringue cake. No, not cake, tart. I will try to put a picture of the sweet I am thinking about, because this, especially in the opening, smells exactly like that. Beautiful gourmand but fresh at the same time because of the lemon. Oh, it's so beautiful. Has this vanilla base. It does dry down, more vanillic, so you do lose this lemony touch, which I adore. And this is why this fragrance again is not in my collection, because as a scent profile, although it's on the gourmand side, I love the lemon note in it combined with the vanilla, but it is more of a vanilla in the dry down, and it does lose this lemony touch, which I really like. But if you love vanilla, you love again gourmands, one of the best. Actually, I would say Casa Murati line, from all the fragrances that I've tested from Xerjoff, are the best line from him. Another fragrance from the Casa Murati line that I fall in love with is Bouquet Ideal. I actually own the fragrance. So beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful ambery fragrances I've ever smelled. It's totally unisex. It does have cinnamon and the spicy touch, but overall it's more about amber here. Very, very similar to another fragrance called Kalimat from Arabian Oud, but that one is more on the masculine side. I have a comparison video between this one, Kalimat, and Golden Powder from the House of Oud, which I will leave linked down below. If I didn't upload that video yet, then please stay tuned, because you will want to watch that video if you are an ambery fragrance lover, love that scent. Again, very underrated and one of the best from the line. Last one from the fragrances that I've tested is Cruz del Sur Secondo, or Segundo, it's Spanish anyway. This fragrance is the best tropical mango pineapple fragrance I've ever smelled. So if you love these kind of fragrances, then definitely check it. It's, to me, even better than Tamarindo, which I really love from Memo. That mango note, it's so exquisite. It's a little bit more of an, not a ripe mango, so it has a bit of greenness. I find like a lot of fragrances that have mango note on them, they replicate more the skin of the mangoes and the mango itself. Maybe I am exaggerating, because to me, I remember like the Egyptian mango, so very juicy, very sweet. There is nothing green or not ripe about it. Not like the mangoes that they sell here in Italy. This is not mango, guys. I'm so sorry, but yeah, that is not it. So it's kind of a hybrid between the two. So it has a little bit of sweetness, but it has also some green touch that I associate with the skin of the mango more than the mango itself. Very, very good in performance. I have no complaints with this brand when it comes to performance in general. I personally don't own this fragrance because it has a milk note, which I cannot get smelling the fragrance, but on my skin, after a while, I get a little bit of this acidic touch, which unfortunately the milk note always does on my skin. So it's just a personal issue, but this is 100% a recommended fragrance if you love mango and you are willing to spend the money, of course. And there is a fragrance that I've tested in my last episode. I just forgot about it. I don't know if I did upload that video yet of, it was episode 8, I think, of testing hyped up niche fragrances. Didn't yet do the follow-up, and it is Apollonia. Oh, the hype about this fragrance is so real, especially recently. And yes, spoiler alert, I do not like this fragrance. Not because it's a bad one. If you love like clean white musk, you will love this one. But it reminds me so much of Pure Musk Absolute from Narciso. Not identical, but very, very similar. I have to say, and this is again a spoiler, I do like it more than Pure Musk Absolute, which says a lot, but given the price tag, I mean, guys, I know that Pure Musk Absolute unfortunately is discontinued from the brand. I don't know why, because it's the best, like simple, elegant, clean white musk fragrance ever created. If you loved that one and you can't get it anymore, Apollonia is the most similar one I've ever tested. So that was Apollonia. Great scent. Again, this white, clean musk. But yeah, I have Pure Musk Absolute, so I don't need this one, but I would recommend it. So these were the fragrances that I've tested from Xerjoff. Now let's get to all the fragrances that I didn't test yet, and I cannot wait to sniff. First one I have here is Amber Star. I like this one. This reminds me a little bit of, not an ambery fragrance, more of a musky ambery fragrance, and that is Inicio Blessed Baraka. Not similar, but it has the same vibe. Like this clean, musky, there's definitely musk. You cannot tell me that this fragrance doesn't have any musky notes. Clean musk mixed with amber. So it's kind of this combination of fresh, clean, like white with brown, sweet amber. you know. I like this one so much. This is really gorgeous. If you love fragrances like Blessed Baraka, I think you will love this one. For now, it's not a fragrance that I would personally buy because I already have something in the same vibe. So, but the scent profile for now is stunning. I love it, and I think it will be very, very good in performance also. Next, let's test Overture. A very hyped fragrance, I think, from Demi Rowling, if I'm not mistaken. She loves Xerjoff in general. Okay. First impression, I was like, I was not put off by the fragrance, but I didn't like it much now. A very unique amber fragrance. I cannot distinguish the notes, so I can see the ambery base, but there is something quite predominant that I cannot say what it is. It's kind of a strange combination in a way. It's definitely vanilla and maybe some benzoin because it has this creaminess. Now it's getting more woody than ambery. Honestly, I don't know what I am smelling. So to me, this is a warm vanilla amber fragrance, maybe with a floral touch in a way. It's kind of very unique. I will definitely check the notes on this one. Let's see. So we have in the top fig leaf, interesting, orange and magnolia. Don't get any of these. Cinnamon, yes, ylang ylang, Indian jasmine and Bulgarian rose in the middle, and in the base sandalwood, vanilla, cashmere wood, amber and incense. I can see that there is some woody notes, but for now I cannot distinguish sandalwood. Quite a unique ambery fragrance. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. So let's leave it for now and see in the dry down what I will think about that fragrance. Next we have Ivory Root. Again, very hyped. Let's see how this one smells. I did not spray all these fragrances beforehand like I usually do because I really wanted to test them like unfiltered without any kind of first impression. So let's see. Quite masculine. I smell like cumin and maybe also coriander. More coriander actually. A lot of patchouli. I don't know, I was expecting something gourmand. I don't know why. But yeah, it's totally different than what I had in mind, let's say. This is not a feminine fragrance at all. Not that women cannot wear it, but it definitely leans to the masculine side. It reminds me of a fragrance that I just can't remember what it is. It's very similar to another one. Not my vibe. It's kind of a dry, ambery fragrance. Something that reminds me a little bit of the desert. So ambery, spicy, but in a very dry way. Like it and can see the hype behind it, but not for me personally. Let's get to a fragrance that I cannot wait to test because they say on Fragrantica that it is similar to a fragrance that I adore. And that is Magenta Transite from Armani. Coffee and cinnamon, vanilla, a cardamom. So let's see this one. I get the resemblance, but they are not similar fragrances. I can say from what I'm smelling now that they have like a lot of notes maybe in common, but the base is totally different. This has this fluffy base, very strange. It's this fluffy powderiness in the base, clean and less sweet than Magenta Transite for sure. It's definitely more unisex than that one. So if we compare the two, Magenta Transite will be more on the feminine side. This is more masculine, although both of these fragrances are totally unisex. I can smell the cinnamon more here, and also the cardamom is quite there, and it's a beautiful cardamom note. It's clean cardamom. It's very soft, well blended. I really like this one, but do I prefer it to Magenta Transite? I love how this one is you know, blended, this fluffy powderiness in the background. But I love the sweetness in Magenta Transite, if that makes any sense. I really like this scent. I cannot wait to test this one on my skin because it may develop totally different and maybe will be more sweet. For now, this gets a thumb up for me, but I'm not sure that it is my favorite one. Next is Commandante. I don't remember anything about this fragrance. I don't even know if it's hyped or not. Clean, soapy. It has again this clean freshness that I find in Nexus, and what was the other one that I found, Chento. That is a little bit synthetic. I don't like it. Don't like the base of this one at all. And to me, it's a masculine fragrance. And there's also something aromatic, woody about it. I don't like it because of the base. Again, this base, I don't know what it is. I will look up the notes and see if I can detect what is it that I don't like about it. So let's see. We have fruity notes, tobacco, really. Yeah, maybe, but there's something else. It's not a strict tobacco fragrance. Floral notes, okay. Honey, not a lot of honey here. Vanilla, maybe. Cedar, yes, I can smell the cedar. Leather, maybe, yeah. It's more of a very clean leather. Spicy note, patchouli, yes, and labdanum. No, cannot get the labdanum. A little bit of patchouli, yes, leather, cedar. I think it's the fruity notes because, no, Nexus doesn't list fruity notes, but Chento does. So maybe it's the accord that Xerjoff uses for fruity notes that gives me this cheap, synthetic, clean and freshness. No, I don't like this fragrance, especially if I put in my mind that these are fragrances that are extremely expensive. It really has to blow my mind. Let's see what we have next. Lora. Now, Lora I got as a gift with purchase, and I've never heard anyone talking about it. Let's see what this one smells like. This is clean and powdery. Very musky, powdery scent. There's definitely some lilac, if I'm not mistaken. Like a sweet lilac, but very in the background. Almost like a floral touch. Maybe some iris also. It's very beautiful, clean, powdery, musky scent. If you love these kind of fragrances, you will love this one. It has just a slight amount of sweet that makes it feminine. It's beautiful. Very feminine, clean, musky. If you love these clean fragrances like Narciso Poudre, not that they are similar fragrances, they are totally different, and the muskiness here is totally different to the one from Narciso. But if you love these kind of fragrances, you will love this one. This powder, elegance, clean musk. It's gorgeous. I imagine this bottle to be white. Is it white? Let's see. I'm curious. No, it's not. This bottle should be white, in my opinion. Anyway, another gift with purchase that I've never seen anyone talk about is Aende. Don't know what inspired this fragrance, because when I hear the name Aende, I always, you know, think about Chile. Isabel Allende. Oh. This is strong. I've got it from far away. It's good. This powdery, but not clean and musky like Lua. This is more sweet. A lot of vanilla here. Very vanillic, but in a powdery, fluffy way. It's almost like a cloud of vanilla. Light hint of maybe some white florals. But mostly it's to me like a cloud, fluffy vanilla. It's almost like a white vanilla, if there is something like that. This is how I would describe it. It's so stunning. This is so stunning. Oh, I am blown away by this fragrance. It's gorgeous. I'm going to see the notes because I'm really curious about that fragrance. Top we have Madagascar Vanilla and Magnolia. In the mid we have Madagascar Vanilla and Cacao. And in the base, Madagascar Vanilla. So vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. Now that I heard cacao, I can get it, but it's almost not there. This is again, very white fragrance. Very, not clean, but more of a romantic, dreamy, sweet, but elegant fragrance. Love, love, love this fragrance. I think it's my favorite one. Yes, for sure it is. Oh my God. Let's test Ibitira. One also that I don't know anything about. This is again quite clean, but a different cleanliness. Oh my God, we have here a lot of very clean fragrances. This is more like sharp clean. I can definitely smell violet here. But it's a clean, not very powdery violet. It's a floral fragrance with mostly violet, some musky, maybe woody base. Not worth it in my opinion. It's not very unique and not like a scent profile that I'm blown away by it. Not bad, but nothing that I would really recommend. It's not very special. Next we have Shanga. This smells very similar to another one that I've tested. It's almost like a hybrid between Ibitira and Amber Star. Kind of. So it has this violety cleanness from Ibitira, but has a little bit of the musk that I smell in Amber Star, but with a different amber base. Very complex. This is a violet amber fragrance to my nose, so let's see the notes. We have vanilla, powdery nose. So maybe I am smelling a mix of Ibitira with Aende and a hint of Amber Star. I would just stop. Anyway, we have vanilla, powdery nose, sandalwood, orris root, woody notes, cherry blossom, olibanum, and tea leaf. Nice fragrance, but not mind-blowing. I don't like it so much. I don't think that I would recommend this fragrance, but it has potential, so I have to test it. So let's get to Save Me. Dr. Brian May's Save Me. Oh. This is very animalic. It's a floral fragrance, but has a very animalic touch. No, I don't like this one at all. It reminds me of a fragrance that I've tested from Bond number 9 that now I don't remember the name, that had this extremely off-putting opening. And to dry down, it was definitely better. Actually, really nice. And it does remind me of that fragrance. China, I think, Chinatown. It was a gardenia fragrance. Again, a musky base. It smells like the musk. Wait, it smells like the musk from Narciso. This is the musk that I'm smelling here, combined with very heady indolic flowers, especially gardenia. So yeah, this is what I'm smelling and I don't like it. You know what this fragrance reminds me of? Of the original Narciso, the one in the white cube, not the long one, but in the cube. It reminds me a little bit of this one, but with more sharpness. I don't know. Don't like this one anyway. Last fragrance is from the Casa Murati line. I think I've tested almost every scent. Wait, I've just realized that there is one scent that is missing from this collection from Xerjoff, and it is 1888 from the Casa Murati line. Did not like that scent at all. I have to see where it is. It's definitely in the same place I have also Erba Pura. I really need to organize my sample collection, really, guys. It's out of control. So we have here Fiore di Ulivo, which translates to olive flower. It doesn't smell like olive, thank God. It's more of aromatic, citrusy, woody fragrance. Definitely masculine, but I don't know if it's the name, but this fragrance, I don't know, reminds me of Tuscany for a reason. I don't know if I'm influenced by the name, but just smelling it, I suddenly was transported to Tuscany for some reason. I don't know if what I'm smelling is this olive blossom, because I do not remember how olive blossoms smell like, but it's overall a woody, aromatic, citrusy fragrance. Nice fragrance. Really, really nice. Nothing wrong about it, but not really my favorite. So since these fragrances are a mix of fragrances that I've already tested and I've talked about, and others that were first impression, I'm not going to rank them, but I am going to say to you my favorite one. You've guessed it. Aende. Oh, it's so nice. I really didn't want to love a fragrance from like the regular line from Xerjoff because the price tag, honestly guys, is outrageous. But this is so good. I really, really like it. To me, I have to say, this one and Amber Star really blew my mind. Lora is also very, very beautiful, and Amber Star, Starlight is one of the fragrances that I want to test on my skin and see, but from first impression, the winner of this episode is Aende. That no one talks about for some reason, but I love it. And that was it. That was kind of my first impression of Xerjoff. I know this is a very hyped brand and a lot of people really, really love it. I have to say that at the beginning, I did not like that brand at all. Maybe because the first fragrances that I've tested are Chento and Overture, which I do not like. And honestly, I am starting to love this brand, but price tag for me personally is not here. Like, the price tag is just outrageous for me. So if I'm not like over the top in love with one of the scents, I'm speaking about the regular line and not the Casamurati line, because the Casamurati line is, I would say, reasonably priced. The other line is just too much for me personally. Until now, I did not find a fragrance that really blew my mind, that I would go and pay that amount of money for 50 ml. So let's see if Aende will steal my heart. I will test more fragrances, of course, before dedicating kind of like my final thoughts or maybe buying guide. I don't know. I'm not decided yet what I'm going to do as a follow-up for this episode. But definitely there will be more fragrances that I'm going to test and include in that video. So definitely don't forget to subscribe and to hit the notification bell. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. And if you did, please give it a thumb up and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget the playlist of the whole series is in the description down below, as well as testing hyped up niche fragrances. Tell me in the comments down below what is your favorite Xerjoff fragrances and which one should I test next. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao.